Hey everyone, do you know what? On Monday, I forgot what I was doing tonight. Tuesday was it? I forgot what I was doing tonight. And normally I'll do a film show. But anyway, I want to tell you about a few films later on because I did say we'll do a football show. So this is what we'll do football. And I'll give you a few films later on if you don't mind. Good ones to watch. And you can get them on YouTube. You don't have to go skimming around, on certain streams. These are good films. Anyway, it's good evening from me to all you fellow Reds out there. Suppose you're all Reds. Still haven't had my tooth done. And Daryl, hiya Daryl. Evening Don Franco. Evening Daryl. Hope you're okay, mate. And Fields of Anfield Road. That's some name, that isn't it? How's Frankie? At Anfield Road. Fields of Anfield. And he carries on by saying, why are we so slow? Thought we would have had 2 signings by now. Well, you've got Hughes, haven't you? He's off his pop. And look, I just hope that we don't turn into Bournemouth because everything's fucking Bournemouth with this fella, isn't it? Everything. Bournemouth. But Hughes, sooner he goes, the better. Because he's a useless director of football, never goes to game. That's why I called him. Remember when I used to call him the Invisible Man? Where is he? What's he doing? Remember that? Because he never ever went to matches. Never came to games. So that's why we're very slow at signing. But mind you, is the transfer window open, to sign players? I know that we're Diamandi. I know that we're very interested in him, but he's unproven. He'll be unproven in the Premiership. That's my only concern. I think there's a lad there, Elliot Anderson. I think he's brilliant, but look at the prices of these players. They're not worth that. They're not worth that. So this is what you've got to look out for as well. The price is extortionate. It's gone ridiculous. Look what we pay for Isak. And I think we set the precedent for everything today by signing him. And he's hardly played for us. Polo. Hi, Frank. Nice to see you. And you, Polo. And you, mate. Edwards. Hello, Frank and chat. Yes. Hello, Edwards. And the fields to Polo. Hey, mate, why are we so slow? We got so many things to do. To be honest, I'm being honest here. Do you think that we're going to go out and buy a load of players like we did last summer? 400. I know that net spend was 200, but nevertheless, we paid out 250 million quid. No, we didn't. We paid out 450 million quid on players. Do you think that we're going to do that now? That's wishful thinking if you do. Look, the way prices are, let's just say that we need 6 players, which we do. I think we need 7, to be honest. Are we going to pay out? And every price is between 80 and 100 million. Every price. Do you think that we're going to spend between 600,000 and 700,000? Don't think so. 700? No, I don't. Million, that is. No chance. As with big up Polo. Phil. Hello, Frank and chat. I was in the Aussie today, so that's why I never got hold of you, Phil. I had to go for, I don't know, I had to answer loads and loads of questions because of this operation. It's really getting me down. Well, let's talk films, Polo. Yeah, honestly, we will. I'll be talking films. I've got a few there to watch. They're absolutely great, you know. There's one, I'll just tell you about one. And it's Luke Wilson and Uma Thurman. And believe it or not, Eddie Izzard. And it's called My Ex-Super Girlfriend. It's not half funny. My Ex-Super Girlfriend. With Luke Wilson, Uma Thurman and Eddie Izzard. Watch it. Get us on YouTube, by the way. And Cedric, hiya Cedric. Big up the man, the myth, the legend. Frank with the missing tooth. And the missing tooth's terrible prices, honestly. Fucking hell. To get fixed. Edward could be waiting till after the World Cup to buy players. That's why it might be slow. That's a good idea, but the thing is, where they're at the World Cup, do you ever remember Houllier? He bought that Salif Diao and Diouf because they had a decent World Cup. Do you remember that? And remember Phil Babb when he had a good World Cup for Ireland? And look how he turned out. Well, look how the three of them. So World Cups, to me, and I won't be watching them anyway because of Israel are playing there. And also the most warmongering country on the planet that's holding it, and that's America. No way am I watching that with them. No way. And the way referees and players are being treated going in, African players, it's a disgrace. Referees, terrible. Shocking. Even the Iranian players, they were interrogated. But that's political. That's for tomorrow night. I'm not getting into that. And Polo says, you're right, Frank. LFC needs to buy top tier, proven, not kids or users, mates. Absolutely. We could easily turn into a Bournemouth. They had a good season. Think about that. They had a good season. I've got nothing against Areola. I've got nothing against the man because I think any one of us would have done better than the Dutch chief fella who got sacked a few weeks ago. I think any of us could have done. So this fella will be better than him. Anyone would. Yeah, the fields of Anfield says Manx have signed Emerson, yes, and Sangari. I said that the other night. I mentioned him. I said, he's good, him. But I called him Sangria. Just so realise, what you're saying. And the next, one of the lads came on and said, oh, it's a nice wine. Sangria. But Sangari, yeah. Curtis Jones, 20 million is a piss take for talent that good. Exactly. I want him to stay. and you're getting a lot of, I don't understand them, fans, so-called Liverpool fans, wanting them gone, sell him, he's useless and all this. No, he's fucking not. I grew up with a Scouser in every team, and he's the only decent Scouser there. We're a local club. We are Liverpool, named after the city. Named after the city. This is, I live in Liverpool. A lot of you do as well. And we're named after it. The city. From 1207. When King John gave us our Royal Charter. On the 27th of August, 1207, we had a Royal Charter calling us Liverpool. And we've always had the emblem of St. John, not St. John played for us, the proper saint, and King John, the liver bird, the eagle. Evening Gold says Kevin Pine. I am Kevin. Stay for me, mate. Trump Cup can fuck right off. I never swore it was him. Phony as fuck. Right to the point to stay, isn't he? That's why I'm not watching it today, to be honest. In truth, we need a 300 million spending and 6 players, says the Polo. I said about 6 or 7, but we won't get 6 players for 300 million. Not the way the inflation, it's just gone out of control. Players, say like a player's worth about 40 to 50 million. They're going for 80 to 90. We're talking in millions here. I seen a surgeon today, great fella, and you get players. They're not even on 1 week's wages a year, yearly. And these people save your lives. And we get the likes of Gravenberch and Gakpo. How much are they on? A week. Shocking. And the field says, it's me, Darryl. It's me, Darryl. Change my name. Oh, fuck it, second. To something exotic. Darryl. Fucking hell. Keep fucking changing your name. Anyway, we can't wait till after the World Cup. We go straight into pre-season. And Mo Gold's a fan, I bet you. 90 million. No, it's only that's only being put out. He's not going yet, is he? I don't think so, anyway. And Edward says, not much to talk about with Liverpool. We'll have to wing it. Yeah. That's why I said, look, you're getting podcast. No disrespect to the people, but they're reading off things. I could do that. Like Yossi Hughes. I can do that. And they're just reading the same thing every pod about Diamandi and other players back home. They're just reading of it. Liverpool are interested. Liverpool are targeted. And do we ever get them? No. Lindsay, even if Frank and Red fans Good God's World Cup everywhere, bloody thing. And as I say, scousers all over the world, even in the desert. That's what I remember Nessie Shankly saying it. And they were playing, who did they play? It was at Onved, somewhere in Hungary anyway. They were, it was in the European Cup anyway. And they went to Hungary and they were sitting in a hotel. All the players were there, you know, drinking a cups of tea. And he said to Nessie, let's go outside. So they went out to the back of the hotel. And the back of the hotel was just a dirt road. And this fella came walking down. And he had no colours on, no nothing. That's the way me and my mates went. No colours, no big red and white things or anything. And that's the way they go today as well. I'm telling you now, right today. They're not there with the hats on and the scarves, and because you can tell scousers. And anyway, this fella was walking down, and they were just sitting there. They were only Nessie and the Shanks, just sitting there drinking the tea or coffee or whatever they were drinking. And the fella, as he was walking past, he just shouted up, let's stuff these, said like Bill. All right, mate, let's stuff them. And she said, this is it. She said, and Bill was absolutely gobsmacked. And he said to her, Nessie, they're everywhere, Nessie. Nessie, they're everywhere. Walking down the dirt road. All it was we were playing. Wasn't on vet. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But that's the Shanks. That's the Shanks for you. I tell you what to watch, boys and girls. I thought it was brilliant. Today I was watching it. Well, this morning before I went to Oz. And what it was a no filter thing. And we were playing Barca. And they had Trent in, talking, you know, in the studio. Klopp, obviously. At the beginning, you had this reporter, and he was talking. And then we had, I'll tell you the best interview was Suarez. Suarez was brilliant. I'd love you to watch it. Because he said my girls were born here. And when they realised that we were playing Liverpool, even my wife said, we want to go. Because they love the city, they love the people, they love the club. That was his family. And so do I, he said. Anyway, Phil, a lot of players that shine in the World Cup end up overpriced. Don't want to sound horrible, but some players are like show dogs, posing and acting for the cameras. Like Beckham, he's a blaze. You've been talking to Steve Evans, blaze. And Steve says, if the rumours are true about who's going from the club, we will end up with the smallest squad in the Prem. Yeah. Well, if we're going to buy players, you know the model stay. We sell to buy. That's been the model ever since these Boston custodians came into bear to run us. And they don't fucking run us, do they? Remember that Stewart? When Werner was over with Henry, and he was looking around for the chairman's office, And he had to ask a steward where it was. And the steward brought him. He said, yeah, there it is. Our chairman of our club for what? 10 years, or over 10 years, isn't it? When they took over. Was it 2010? No, it wasn't. But anyway, didn't know where the fucking office was, and that's our chairman of Liverpool Football Club, the greatest club in Britain, one of the greatest clubs in World Cup football, World Club football, that is. And the field says, pray for Scottish Bear. We love you, lad. Keep fighting. Yes. Yes, the Scottish Bear. He's very ill. And we haven't heard from Redbird or nothing. And Barry, even if Frank and everyone don't want to and Toscana. Buonasera, Franco and Co. Hope you're all well. We'd be crazy to let Jones go. I'm hoping he's had a chat with Areola and he likes what he's being told. 20 million. You've got to be joking. Exactly. I think it. Well, that's what Inter are offering, aren't they? But my thought, I want him to stay. I really do. I like Jones. I've always liked Jones. But the point is, to get money in to buy a player, he's bound to go. Bazzi. And Barry. Even if Frank and everyone don't want us to tread water and watch everyone else buy our targets. Look, put it this way. We've got the invisible man in charge of all this. And he's going, as you know, he's going. He's going to leave us. He brought in the Flying Dutchman. That wasn't a Flying Dutchman. He was a lump of cheese. And that was the coach. Then he brought in, another fella. Because why I called him the invisible man, he just lived in Bournemouth. He never got off his fucking backside to come here. Sat in Bournemouth. Or wherever he fucking sat. He didn't sit in the stands here at Anfield. And he's a Bournemouth supporter. And what did he do? He brought in a manager of Bournemouth who had a good season. He had a good season. Got nothing against Areola. But it's becoming Bournemouth. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Polo says Areola needs to get rid of Gravenberch, Cody. Both have no fight or spirit. I totally 100% agree with you, Polo. And I was listening to David Lynch. Should have heard him today about Gravenberch. Loves him. I thought, what the fucking hell are you watching, fella? These are journalists. I thought, fucking hell. Gravenberch. Gravenberch dribbles and did he watch him last season? Scored a couple of good goals, but that's about fucking it. One against Everton. Remember that? It's only the other fucking one was against, but I know he scored a couple of goals. A lot of Scousers were Irish heritage. My surname is Irish, says Edward. Yeah. if you, you know, I'm a historian, and if you go back to the 80s, 80% of Scousers had Irish blood. 80%. So you're right there, mate. If we go into another season with no DM, I'm boycotting this season. I've been asking for 4 years. I've been waiting for 4 years for an operation and finally getting it. It's the same time I've been asking for a DM, a number 6. 4 years. When I got home, I was watching the Barcelona game again. I think that's a great game, though. And just looking for only highlights. Look at Fabinho. He was a masterclass. Fabinho in that game, masterclass. And I'll tell you what else I listened to about an hour before it came on. And it was brilliant. The emotion was unbelievable on YouTube. And it was the BBC commentary. But it was just the goals. Never heard anything like it. Not half emotional. And Shearer, should have heard him co-commentate. Listen to the crowd, listen. He was unbelievable. And then we had Kelly, you know, Kelly Dalglish at the end. And she was talking. And what got me, and as you know, I can't sing You'll Never Walk Alone. I can't sing it. Because I just think of our 97 every time and I just choke up, so I can't sing it. And Kelly went, listen to this. Even Shearer, listen to this. And it was at the end of the game. You'll Never Walk Alone. Try and watch it, please. It's fantastic. And that's just a goal. BBC commentary. You get it on YouTube. First time I ever heard it, I'm being honest. Because it just came up, it was just there. So listen to this. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very emotional. The commentator, I don't know who he was, but he was absolutely brilliant. And Barry says to the fields, that's a me, mate. And Edwards, good luck with your next appointments in the Aussie. Thank you, Edwards. I filled in a questionnaire the other day. And I've never filled in a questionnaire like it's a pre-op thing. And I filled it in. They said, how long did it take you? Now, it took me well over an hour. The questions that was asked was unbelievable. Then I was up there today, as you know, well, I just said, and more questions. And this is just pre-op. Because it's a very dangerous operation. I'm fucked anyway, so I might as well get it done. If it don't come out of it, so be it. That's the way I look at it now. But thank you, Edward. TW, big old Frank and Reds, I'd say. Yeah, Baz. You changed. Changed what? And the Polo says, Honved Budapest semi-final. So it was Honved. What's Honved? Thanks, Polo. Oh. It was, but that's Ferencvaros. It wasn't Ferencvaros, was it? Ferencvaros. But anyways, either that or, as you said, Onved. But Budapest. Two cities, two different cities, them, Budapest, because there's a big river running through it. Buda is on one side and Pest is on the other. All right, CW. Big up, Barry. I changed Baz. And Edward says, I don't want any more players from Bournemouth. Even Alex Scott getting priced at it. Exactly. Thoughts and best wishes to the Scottish Bear. All the best, mate, says the poet. Yes. Don't want Alex Scott myself. I forget what player that was being mentioned. It was on another pod, and the comments, I take no notice of these arseholes. I'm sorry. Some of them, they were talk a load of bollocks. And I just look at the comments. And the comments are good, some of them are great, really good. And anyway, they said, I forget what player. He's another Joe Allen to me, this fella. And we all know fucking Joe Allen, don't we? What he brought to the table, fuck all. Do you remember when he grew a beard? And when you're taking the piss out of him, like calling him a Perlo. Remember that? Can't see Areola letting all and sundry leave the club. I think he will bring in quality and back up with youngsters, says Barry. He's got to have the backup. Yeah, he's made up with the academy. But what you've got to look, we're in a mess. You can't look at it any other way. We're in a shocking mess. You can't see it any other way. It's no use saying about players and saying, targeting players. Oh, yeah, we're going to get him. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And do you think that this Diamandi is worth over 100 million? How old's he? 19 or something like that, isn't he? Is he worth over 100 million? What will he be like in the Premiership? You've only got to look at Wirtz. Wirtz was supposed to be one of the greatest players ever in Germany. He never had a great season, did he? Because it was very tough for him, physical. So, what's this fella going to be like? Running down the wing. He's not going to be like Mo Salah, is he? Running down the wing. So, it'll be I'm not saying it'll be a big risk, but no matter what player, from abroad we bring in, it will be a risk. Especially like for 100 million. Look at Isak. Look at him. Premiership proven. What happened to him? A few little kicks and he was out. Then he broke his leg. That Van der Ven. Another Dutchman who supporters wanted him. Our fans want, Van der Ven, get him out. Fucking crap. That's my opinion. And say, yep, I don't want to see any more of this 100 million on bloody one season players. Iriola is a top coach who can develop players, yes, but again, say we need proven players. You know, let them bring in. Let them bring in and improve players. The likes of young Rio, for example. Why did we let Quansah go? For fuck's sake, why did we let him go? Can anyone tell me that? That was the fucking Dutch cheese fella, wasn't it, who fucking let him go? He was a good kid, him. He was improving. And this fella, Iriola, he would, if Iriola would have come in instead of the Dutch fucking cheese, he would have improved him immensely. Don't forget, we've got Giovanni Leone to come in as well. We've got that Jacquet to come in. But if you've ever dislocated your shoulder, you're a little bit wary of going into things. I know that. You know, like getting stuck in case it goes again. I'm telling you now. And Polo says LFC need top tier players: Singare, Kamara, Diamandi, Torre, Elise, Schlottenbeck. I like that Schlottenbeck. I do like him. We won't get Elise, unfortunately. Diamandi, I think, is it. But excuse me, but is he worth it? Is he worth 100 million? Another 100 million? That level, no crap. Exactly. But let's have a look at that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they're all priced at 100 or over 100 million. We're not going to pay that for them. So we might end up with. Look, we're Liverpool Football Club. We are Liverpool Football Club. What did Jürgen say? That means more. Liverpool means more, right? Liverpool, us. And who we linked with? Bowen. Come on. We're Liverpool. We're not fucking Bournemouth. Do you see what I mean? It's all right going to them type of teams, but not Liverpool. And you get a lot of fans going, oh, you know, I'm not on other podcasts. Oh, yeah, you get him. Oh, yeah, he'd be great. Fuck's sake. And then they were going on, yeah, we'll get Liverdenski. He's on a free. He's fucking 40. Is this where we're going? Fucking Bowen and Liverdenski. Is this where we're heading now? This is the mess the Dutch cheese fella and users left us. And Michael Edwards, you can't leave him out of the equation. Fucking shocking. Really is. It's like a conspiracy theory. Destroy the club. Yeah, okay. Let's destroy it. And Toscana says, I don't bother reading who supposedly going to sign. I'll believe it when the players, same as me. I've said that all along, Toscana. I've said it all along. Until you see them sitting down, holding up the shirt with their name on the back and signing a piece of paper which says contract. Lee Brady, hiya Lee. Hey Franco, Carlyle. Hey Franco Carlyle, how's your being, mate? Slow news, isn't it, about targets or bids for players, etc. I think it will start properly after the World Cup, to be honest. And when Areola starts work with targets too, maybe he's got his targets already. Maybe. But saying nothing. I think we need decent owners or let fans buy a share in the club. I always remember some fella saying that we should buy the club. No chance. Just imagine he's have to pay the way what 6 billion now Liverpool. So that'll be 6 billion quid for fans to shove up. Go fund me 6 billion. I go. And who's gonna run it? And Edward Gravenberch scored against Newcastle too, says Edward. Still fucking crap out. And Phil says, Toscana, I am the same. And the poet, I don't mind Gravenberch. I think he's a DM, but like his ability. I don't think he's fucking not. But I like his ability to carry the ball. What was he like last season, Poet? Be honest. What was he like, mate? He was fucking woeful. I'm not having a go, honest to God, Poet. I'm certainly not, but I'm just saying, what was it? He's fucking terrible, mate. So was the rest of them, to be honest. But that was under the Dutch cheese. Don't forget, he couldn't get a game for Bayern. Bayern were made up to let him go. He never got a fucking game. He had 2 games, I think, all season. And Paulo says those MS, the media, journal, are shocking. Out of touch, haughty, detached. You can tell they don't support LFC. Good shout, Alex. That's a good shout. And the field says, feel awful for Enzo. He is to miss the World Cup and he has not retired from retired from international football. I thought he was with the squad. And Barry says to the fields, okay with you there. Oh, my old mate, Brian. Hi, Brian. Brian, I hope you're well, mate. Wait, what? So now Liverpool has a small squad. You mean Stuart Townend playing left back, Emre Can and Enzo playing centre back and Stephen Corker playing forward when Clues. Do you remember that Corker? Fucking hell. You're right there, mate. Emre Can. I wish you would have put Joe Allen in there. Brian, I wish you would have put Joe Allen in that little bunch. And Linda says, just watch the documentary, Memories of Istanbul, and Kenny's documentary, both brilliant. Yes. Yes. I don't know why I put myself through it, Frank, but I was watching a lot of Jota videos of his goals, breaking news of what happened and different people's reactions, etc. Just so sad, almost a year. And yeah, Diogo. He was great, him, But he was being sold, I hope you realise that. He's going to get sold. Best wishes to all who are not too good at the moment, says Linda. Good shout out, Linda. Thank you. Thank you to everyone out there who's not too good. And Edward Diamandi has worked the money. He's only had one good full. Diamandi has worked the money. He's only had one good full season, and a 19-year-old can't replace Mo. But I'll try and be positive with him if he comes. I think we all have to. Do you mean he isn't worth the money, Edward? I just got a message off our friends. Sorry. Right, so I'll delete that out again. I'm sorry. Diamandi is worth the money. He's only had one good full season, and a 19-year-old can't replace Mo. But I'll try to be positive with him if he comes. We have to be positive, not with just the players, but also the coach, this Iriola lad. I don't mind him because I like what he said. He's embracing the city, which I'm made up with. He's embracing the fans, which I'm delighted with. So everything about him, and also the academy, that the Dutch Cheese fella didn't. He never done any of them. And don't forget, he lived in Manchester. I don't think Andoni will live in Manchester. Sorry, Frank, isn't it? No, I don't think he is. I think it's just a name that everybody's been going on about, and oh yeah, team, no, it'd be great him. And Barry says, I don't like managers who try to bring players from their previous club, although I would have Krupi. I wouldn't pay more than 70 mil for any player. One injury and we are. We are, Barry. Quansah looked good for England when I seen him. It was the Dutchman. Of course it was. Of course it was. He went like that against Ipswich. Against Ipswich, the opening game, the first game that he was going to cover. He was coach. And he must have thought, I'm going to show these Liverpool fans that I'm the boss. I really believed that. And I said it at the time. When at half time, he brought on Kanate and just took him off. Gerald Quansah. And that was to show you, me, and everybody else and all these lads at the back of me here. I'm the boss. I'll show them. Then sold him at the end of the season. England's international. Homegrown. That's what I said about our club being in a fucking mess with that prat. And I blame yous. I blame him because the Dutch cheeseman was his mate. That's why he said, "Do you want the job?" Yeah, okay. I've dislocated my shoulder many times. Not Dora, not Dora. Hang on. Not for a while. I'm sorry. Not for a while though. And you do think about it happening again, says Edward. Yes, you do. I'm telling you now. Good shout there. Good shout there, Edward. Schlotterbeck is 50 million release clause and Kamara is get the two of them. Not City though. Get the two of them. I like Schlotterbeck. I like Kamara as well. Good shout there. And Cedric, fed up of steamers saying get rid of all the players. That means we have to wait years for new ones to gel and win anything. Yes. That's what I mean. Look, we would have won the league if we would have kept that same team instead of fucking smashing it up. Him and Hughes and Edwards. We would have won the league, though, last season. But they smashed it up. And people say, oh, Diaz wanted to go. Fuck off. He didn't. He only wanted their eyes. He was one of the lowest paid star players. One of the very lowest. So was Curtis Jones. He only wanted their eyes. So Bosley's on a weak wage now. Compared to fucking Gravenberch and Gakpo. And the LFC, even if Frank and all, I at LFC, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. They still haven't sorted the backroom staff. What a mess. They haven't. They haven't. And Gralu, do we have wides or mids who are ready to step into the first team? Then we're buying. Maybe if the club had the foresight to replace Ginny, yes. Fab, yes. And a wide beforehand, we wouldn't be paying 100 million yet. That's a great shout, though. I've always said for 4 years, get a DM. Fab hasn't been. I said before, Carlyle, at the start of this, I was watching the Barca get only highlights, and I was concentrating on Fabinho. He was fucking. I was there at the game. Make no mistake about that. And I was saying he was my man of the match. I know Origi scored 2, and Jenny, Jenny was great. Second half came on, but anyway, I said Fab was our man of the match. He was fucking brilliant. He was brilliant. Just have a look at the highlights. Just look at him. And we never replaced him. Never. And when you think back, we were solid. We had the likes of Mascherano, for example. We had a solid midfield. with the likes of Stephen and Xabi in that midfield. Even Cout was in the midfield. Unbelievable. As we play, I was there. Bloody hell, I was in the upper Anfield Road, that stand. And it was Peter Crouch and Fernando Torres against Arsenal. And Ryan Babel come on. Ryan scored a goal, got a penalty and scored a goal. Beat them 4-2. I was only watching it last week. Oh, it was great. You know, that like the highlights. And I was up in the that Adebayor scoring 6 minutes to go. And there was a fella sitting next to me. He said, we're going to fucking win this. I said, I know. 6 minutes to go, he scored. We were out. And then Ryan Babel, straight from the kickoff, after they scored, after they, got back into their half, the ball went to Ryan Babel and he just fucking ran. And Colo Torre brought him down. Steven Gerrard just came up, bang, bang, get in. Penalty. And then Ryan Babel scored. That was a great game, that. I was there watching it in the upper Anfield Road. And the LFC say some of the names going around amazes me. Too much speculation, clickbaiting these days. Yes. Yes. Great shout, LFC, that. It's all right just saying, I just, you've got to, I'm not saying you understand, but people have to understand that you're getting the same fucking thing every day. It's the same. It's not like, I'm not being funny, but it's not like this. You're commenting. And I made up that you a comment. I read it out. And people agree and disagree. And he carries on by saying, the LFC, I ignore them now, yeah. But people keep watching them. I know fucking people keep watching them. Artie Davis, are you Artie? Jesus. Oh, Artie, I haven't seen you for yonks. And I mean yonks, how are you? And he says, I agree with all the crap from some supporters saying they don't want him as a coach. I agree with you. A joke selling Kwanzaa and get Elliott back. He was very positive when he came on. That was great, that, because I've said that loads of times about Harvey Elliott coming on. I just liked him. I didn't like him starting, to be honest, Artie. I just liked him coming on. He made an impact. But get rid of him. Shocking what they did to him. And Kwanzaa, Gerald Kwanzaa, what they did to that lad. He was very positive when he came on. Klopp admitted he should have used him more. Yes. Oh, good to see you, Artie. Oh, it really is. Artie used to, I don't know whether he still is, but he used to be in the entertainment business. Great fella. Lovely man. And Edward says, I agree, Frank, I don't like Gravenberch. Strange, isn't it? And yet Polo does. And with Toscana, no use speculating. We're always linked with 30-plus players. So might as well wait. I know Areola knows what he is doing, amongst others. Yes, that's a good shout. Exactly. And the poet, He had a poor season. Oh, yeah, it was poet. It wasn't polo. It was the poet who likes him. He has a poor season, but that happens. The season before, when we won the league, was arguably our best player after Salah. He was good. He was. I'm not just disputing that at all. I'm really not. Poet lad. I'm not even arguing with you, honest to God, lad. You know, I'm not that type. Only if you told me to fuck off, you know. And I know you won't. Because I won't tell you to F off. And Edward says, big up Brian Fennell. He's all the way over. And, you know, people say about Brian's being over from Seattle. Big Red. Loves the Reds. Stays with me. Went out. Great fella. And the field says, Enzo was retired from international football, Frank. Just being said on ITV. I'm missing the World Cup. What a roo, eh? I didn't know that, you know. And the LFC, Gapco and Sorks with Accrington stuff. Stay on my fucking suit then. Gapco and Sorks with Accrington stuff. Local newspaper report. Gapco. You see? That's a cracker. I love that. Accrington stuff. Who's he? Phil's laughing his head off at you. And Ezra says, good positivity, that, Lindsay. Yes. And Tony. Hey, Tony. Imagine a Terry on the market today. What he would cost $1 billion. I love Terry McDermott. He was, you know, they say about today, oh, he's got a great machine, you know. I must say, Terry. You know, some players say, oh, great machine, great. Terry McDermott. Fucking hell. Some of the goals. I've got 3 best goals I've ever seen. 3. Terry McDermott and Jan Molby. Jan Molby's 3rd. The one he scored against Tottenham to make it 7 with his head. Nothing will ever beat that. Bink, bink, bink. From our area, and he ran from our area and was just going down. And Stevie Highway put it directly, not on his head, running onto the ball. And the ball was going over, and Terry McDermott, pinpoint accuracy, fucking hell. It's like an Exocet missile. Pinpoint. Ran onto it. You'll never, ever, 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 ever in a million years see that again. That's the best goal I've ever seen. The second one was against Tottenham again, but down there, White Hart Lane. When the ball came to him, chested, kneed it, you know, tied it, and hit it from the fucking wing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a goal. And Jan Molby, when he picked the ball up in our half, we were kicking into the cup against Man United. And he just went straight through the lot. Bang, get in. 3rd. 3rd best I've seen. I've seen some great goals, though. Some great goals. Not Alan Kennedy, Ray Kennedy against San Etienne. David Fairclough against San Etienne. Kevin Keegan against San Etienne. The opening. Incredible goals. But you know, you do get them. Mo Salah, fucking hell. The goals he scored. Look at the one against Chelsea. Everyone was drooling. Against Chelsea. Remember when he cut in and just let fly from an angle? And it just went like a ballistic missile. And I paused it, you know, when you see like things, and I paused it. And you see a girl behind the goal, and she's like, brilliant. Just like, incredible goal. But you're right there, Tony. What would Terry Mack be? Remember the goal he scored against Everton up at Main Road? Chipped him. Just trapped it, pink, looked up, chipped. Goal. Incredible. Good shout, that, actually. That's a great shout. And Edward says, hopefully the World Cup will give Isak some match fitness. And he'll be in better condition fitness-wise when he comes, says Edward. Yeah. He is good, yeah. I'm not saying that he's... I'm not saying that. I'm not calling him or anything. Because he is Premiership proven when he played for Newcastle. Excuse me. And the T says, smash the likes and subscribe, Reds. Plenty in the house. Let's get the likes up, please. They never do. I've been stuck on the same number for months. I think it's got something to do with YouTube. I don't think they want me to see it going any further up. But thank you anyway, T. Thank you. I just wish they would. Cost them nothing. And Artie says, I also believe Mo missed Trent's passing. Yes, and Kane is not getting the same service that Trent gave him. Yes. That's a good shout, that, actually. But I don't watch England, Artie, mate. Not ever since 1989 and our lovely 97. Never watched them under cover up by the establishment, and England represent the establishment. But anyway, I've never supported them, Artie. I've always supported the Azzurri, Squadra Italia, the Italian squad. Always, from a little boy. Because of my granddad. One thing the Dutch cheese did manage to get us all to agree on, and I take no pleasure in saying it, but what a knob. And thank goodness he's gone. I thought you were going to get loads of F's then. One thing he just managed to get us all on board and to agree. Good shows. And Edward, pick up. Got it. Here's my other mate. There's the Gator man. Hey everybody, another crazy day in the world of international freight and logistics. Early days for the new gaffer hope he's given the players stroke resources to right the ship. This is, I don't think he will, Dennis. I really don't. They're not going to spend big unless we get rid of players. And then we'll have one of the smallest squads on the planet. There's the Dutch cheese fella always said, didn't he? I only like small squads. Small squads. And then he always saying, I like a bigger squad. A bigger squad. And that was one of the best games I've seen, that Arsenal home game. Yeah, I was there. That's what we're talking about. Ryan Babel. That's great, that Edwards. Honestly, it was a great game, that. And as he by all doing, do you ever remember him doing a little dance? Doing it to all the Arsenal fans. I was right above him. So look at that prick there. And then I only seen it on the highlights then, the game. And the gob on him. When Babel scored, and you just see an unbelievable face, every one of them were all like, you don't mess around with Liverpool. That Arsenal game was vastly underrated, Frank. Wide open to the end, yes. Right to the last minute. Hi, Dennis. Says the T. And the LFC. 100% agree with Artie on Elliott and Quansah. Yes. I'm hoping Areola brings the best out of Gravenberch. He can be a quality player and doesn't need to play every game. I don't think he's worth it. 280, 300 grand, isn't he, a week? I don't think he's fucking anywhere near that. I don't think so. And MI6 is here. Yeah, just seeing the news on Enzo injured his foot and will miss the World Cup. He also said he is now retired from international football. That's a shame. That's a shame. He was good, wasn't he? And the poet says, remember Terry McPean on the Nurse's Head during the trophy winning parade? I was at that parade. Shanks. And Growler, Everton. The Tottenham goal from Highway is one for the ages. The Tottenham goal from Highway is one for the ages. He was underrated. Well, he wasn't underrated, was he? But he never gets mentioned, unfortunately, Stevie Highway. Only in a song. Stevie Highway on the wing. We've got banners and songs to sing. And Edward says, I noticed, Frank, your subs go up faster when you do the recorded video. I'm going to do one for tomorrow, to be honest. I've always struggled to support England, says the poet. Cheering on United players, Everton players, Chelsea players, Arsenal players, etc., has never sat right with me. I always remember I was in Italy, and England were playing Germany, and we beat them 4-1. We, beat them 4-1, and I was sitting there, and this fella said to me, he was a Manchester United fan actually, and he says, "I don't see you there, cheering." He said, "Look, it's Steven Gerrard's just scored. Michael Owen scored." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't support them." "Why?" Fucking told him why. And he went, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, oh." I said, "Do you know Italy where you're in?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I support them." I said, "Would you stop supporting Manchester United?" He was made up with Scholes playing. I said, "Would you stop supporting Manchester United?" He said, "No." "For anyone?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, that's it." I said, "Go and support England as much as you want. I support Italy." Highway cross to McDermott, I meant. Oh, that one. Carlyle, fuck. No one will ever cross a ball like it. It was that precise that he was running onto it. He was running onto it just to hit it in. Because he's seeing him running from our halfway, our 18-yard box. Right up. He's going. When Highway received the ball, looked up, and he just put it over. And it never landed on his head. He just ran onto it. Terry Mack, bump. You'll never see another pass like that. Whether it's Trent, whether it's anybody. You'll never see another pass like that. That was an incredible pass. Mr. B. Good evening, Frank and fellow Reds. Evening, Mr. B. Oh, you missed it. You're in the Anfield Row. Evening, Frankie and chat. It was great before. We has one of the old players on, and he lives down in the Midlands now. Gordon Mill. Plays with Ian St. John, Big Ron Yates. Plays with them all, Willie Stevo. And he was asking about them. It's just been on before. So you'll have to, watch it again when we finish. Great man. He was on his laptop. Gordon Mill. You wouldn't know him though. Even in Frankie and chat, says the Anfield Row. Barry says, despite the chaos in the club, I'm still optimistic Iriola can get us playing like we used to in the Mane and Salah and Firmino day. He will get us play. He likes the high press. But you'll never get him a Firmino, a Mo, or a Sadio. Never again. Because I said to our Francine, I said, look at them three running. I said, you'll never, ever see that again. Ever. Take it in now while they're with us. That's what I said to her. But I'd love, the high press, everything, yeah. Because that's what he likes. But we've got to have speed. A lot of speed. And the poet says, the ball by Davy Johnson, oh yeah, Davy's gone, hasn't he? To Highway was some pass as well. Yeah. 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 It just came out, didn't it? As I said, it was the best goal I've ever seen, Port. The best I've ever seen. You'll never see another goal like it. And the Anfield says, Barry Aldridge, all right, lads. And the Ross says, I hope you're well, Frankie, mate. I've cracked open the beer and now unwinding to the commentary of Frankie the Legend. I wish. Have the film days changed now? No, it was tonight, Edward. But I was worrying about the Aussie and that, you see, on Tuesday. And, going there. Anyway, today. And I just said, I don't know what I'm doing on Thursday. I'll have a show. I'll have a football. And Jason got hold of the thing. And I said, I'll just split it to Jason. I'll have a football show. And then I'll have a film show. But I will tell you some films to watch. The Anfield Raw loves the films I recommend. So, I love them. But it's on a Thursday night. So when I'm doing a pod on a Tuesday, you'll have to remind me. Don't forget Thursday, film night. And Barry said, yes, like Frank, I'm losing a tooth next week. Still got a couple left. Barry. Yeah, but I lost that, didn't I, with a fucking chunky Kit Kat. Funny enough, I said to Francine, I said, get me some. She said, do you want any biscuits? I said, not really. I said, just get me a couple of chunky Kit Kats. She said, no. So she got me, the ordinary ones, because do you think I should sue Nestle for the $2,000 it's going to cost Frank to get it done? Poet, I loved him. Peter Thompson, an incredible player. An incredible player. We got him from Preston. Peter Thompson. We got him from Preston. Some players we had, under Shankly, God blimey. Kelly, Tommy Smith. He brought him in as a kid, a 17-year-old. Jerry Byrne. Chris Lawler. He's seen Tommy Smith. He's seen how tough he was. I always remember there was a comic. I forget what it was called. But they had, what was his name? Tougher the Track, it was called. Tougher the Track. Alf Tupper, Tougher the Track. And someone said at the time, he's the Alf Tupper of football. That was Tommy Smith. And I know that people won't know about Alf Tupper. Tougher the Track. It was a comic, it was a comic. So I was a big fan. I was a massive fan. Honestly, Poet. And Barry says, I'm good though. Carlyle. To the earlier shout about Isak getting some minutes, the heat and humidity in the US will get all our World Cup players into shape quickly. You're right there. You're absolutely right there, Carlyle. Big up Ross, says the T. Big up me mate, says the Anfield to the T. And Toscana, our lovely Toscana. I could never support England. I've no drop of English. I've got no drop of English blood in me. DNA shows I'm 100% Italian, but England's are there. But England's are there and good for the fans if they want to fly the flag. Can't fly flags, can you now? And Frankie, what is your opinion on the use? 1 minute I read he's in Saudi bound. Next, Henry is telling him to go if he goes, who cares? And yet he is strategizing our recruitment. Areola, as I say. He is talking about him before, Anfield, at the opening of the stream. That's why I called him the Invisible Man. He never ever comes to games. What the fucking use is that? Director of football not coming to games. And I said about him going to Saudi. It was only last week or the week before, or he's going. He's going in the summer, this summer. But it's fucking summer now. Let him fuck off and get some money. But you're right, who cares if he does go? No, I don't. You don't. And millions of others don't. Because he's fucking ruined us. Sick of it. Stephen James Booth. Hello, Steve. All right, Frank. You top man, hope your sound there, kid. Have you heard about the Dutch winger we are linked with? Liesel van... That's what I like about this little mad pod. Buonasera, Scattana, says the Anfield Road. Mr. B, you never walk alone. Colin Sykes, hey, Colin. Big old Frankie, mate. The Anfield also, Mr. B. Look, Scott, he loves giving them Scotches out, you get you drunk with the Anfield Road. And Cedric says, a question for Frank, would you rather eat 10 chunky Kit Kats or lose the rest of your teeth? That's a terrible question to ask me. You see, I had a cap on this suit. And I'm feeling the roots are still there. And it just snapped off. I've got it in the living room, my teeth. It's on my little sideboard. But it's a big con. The dentist today, big con. I'm a pensioner. And there's no things for pensioners. It's not down for you if you're a pensioner. You still have to pay the full whack. And the C says they can all go for Mayraw. But I have heard FSG want to keep hold of Edwards and Ward and another. Hughes can go for them. Yes. Well, they don't get on, do they, Hughes and Edwards, but they're a pair of pricks anyway. As you know. I wish I could have a private talk with you, but I can't, unfortunately. I really can't. And you'd know the score then. Just think about Edwards leaving all of a sudden, and then 6 months later, Ward leaving. Think about that. And both of them back. Think about that. And who went? Jürgen. Think about that. But I wish I could have a private talk with you about it. All right, Frank says, Davey, our Newcastle mate. I got charged £80 for a loaf of bread earlier in the supermarket. Mind you, I was wearing my new tune top and was scanned. Have you seen it? Oh. Oh. What are you like, Davey? And the poet. Oh, Tupper was in the Victor. That's it, yeah. Middle distance runner, yeah. Tougher the track. Oh, I made up someone remembers him. I thought it was the only one. Well done, poet, lad. And Mr. B, hashtag 97, yes. Yes. Colin says, where's when you paint the other cheek black flag to match the one missing? I've got a pet hate, you know, a pet hate. I've got a couple of pet hates. And it's someone chewing. I can't stand anybody chewing. All like that. Can't stand it. And if I like chewy, I was and then got it. That's the sort of thing. Piece of chewy. And I don't mean pink bubble gum. Cheeky thing, you Colin. Pink and black. Big up, Cedric, says to say. And the Anfield says, lol, me too, saying to TW. I was reading about Areola and his methods. He is really into player recruitment. But the thing is, there's no way, and being honest, I think you know this anyway. As I said, we spent 450 million on their players last summer. There's no way he's going to get that. Look at Jürgen. Jürgen never got that. Never got it at all. And look what he did for us. Just imagine Klopp getting that money. And I would like to know if Areola got that type of money, what he'd do with it. And Liverpool beat, Tommy Smith, I remember being in the paddock, and Leighton, I was on Leighton James went past. I remember it a couple of times, and Tommy said to him, "Do that again, I'll break your fucking back." Didn't pass him again, and he didn't. He changed wings, didn't he? He changed wings. Burnley, that was. Remember that? He was not half quick, that Leighton James, though, wasn't he? Blonde-haired lad. Break your fucking back. Brilliant, that. That's a great memory, that. The beat. Brilliant. And she says, FSG are looking at buying a North American football club that will give Edwards a job. Oh. See, there's fucking money in it for them pricks. Edwards, yeah, give him a job for another couple of years, yeah. I just want news out of our club. And the T says, I'm hopeful on Areola succeeding at Liverpool. We've all got to get behind him. I get behind this lad here, Uma. Hi, Frank, nice to meet you. I hope you're fine. Thank you, Uma. I think Uma would have been all right, better than the Swiss cheese fella. No, the Dutch cheese fella. Edam. Hiya, Uma. Hope you're well, mate. And the Anfield Road to the sea, the Boston Airy Beavers, they can get the sloop man there as coach. It's about his level. I think it's below his. I think it's above his level, to be honest. Anfield. And Uma says to the sea, hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. And the T says, anyone who doesn't buy into this into his football can be sold on. Good shout. And that's Avey, all the way from Newcastle. We're after a Korean kid, Fukin Ni-wan. Tell you what, Davey, if you're into films, mate, what's your thing called? Train to Busan, North Korean, South Korean. Cracking film. Train to Busan. Even the Anfield Road would like it. And Michael Dooley, hiya, Michael. McDermott scores some great goals. The chip against Everton, yes. The goal at Aberdeen, yes. The edge of the box goal against Tottenham in the FA Cup, yes. Said that. The header against Tottenham, the 7-0, the great goal at Brighton. The goal at Brighton. I said that the 7-0, the seventh against Spurs was the best goal I've ever seen in club football. It was just a bink, bink, bink goal. Incredible. Evening, Uma. I hope you're well. And Uma, evening to the chat. Yes, I am fine. That's nice, Uma. Good lads, Uma. I hope it's not too hot for you over there. And the Anfield says to the chat, just Areola showing respect and awe he shows walking onto the historic pitch. You can see he is different, more Liverpool type of person. Slot disrespected us, called us inferior to PSG. Yep. Yeah. No disrespect to people in Manchester, two great cities in the northwest. But he fucking lived there, the Dutch cheese fella. He lived there. That's why he knew nothing about Liverpool. Like the fucking Northern Irishman. After 4 or 5 months in the job, I didn't realise how big Liverpool was. Oh, for fuck's sake. Divvy him. Another fraud. Let's see. Wine for my men, we ride at dawn. Great, that, isn't it? That's a great quote. Wine for my men, we ride at dawn. Toscana. Ciao, Anfield Road. Hey, Toscana, says the T. Onuma says, is Liverpool considering Zaire Emery for their midfield? I don't know. I don't know the lad. Uma, maybe our people on here will tell you. Rumours are there, he says Uma, about Zaire. Some name that, isn't it? Zaire. They rumble in the jungle. Toscana. Says the Anfield Road. Toscana. Ciao spero che tu sta bene. Yeah. About that. Our Anfield coming over all Italian. Don't let coppers know because they think Scousers can't learn a language. And we've got no schools up here that has options to learn languages. Because they were going on about Anthony Gordon and Trent. Anthony Gordon learning Catalan. Amos Scouser learning Catalan. I thought, you fucking cheeky fucking pricks. I think we've got fucking schools here. Or options by scholars to learn a language. Options. My little granddaughter came chopping French. And now she's learning Italian. I'm paying for it, like. And Poet says, Terry Mack scores another cracker against Hamburg when we beat them 6-0. Yeah, Keego came back, didn't he? In fact, I think Terry got a hat-trick that game. Blimey. Terry McDermott, I've never said that he was underrated, but he never gets fucking mentioned. Ever. And the Copites of Anfield. Good evening, Frank. Hope you're well. Thank you, Copites. Good to see you. And the Copites of Anfield says, would you be interested in telling me your LFC story? I can't tell you that now. I'd be boring everyone. But I'll tell you this, the very first, when I went to see, I was brought by my uncles. And just shows you how long ago this was. Copite. It was against Middlesbrough. And I was, you remember, we had big floodlights, them big stone things. And it was a floodlit game. Midweek, obviously. And we were playing Middlesbrough. And we got beat 2-0. And who scored? I'll tell you who scored for Middlesbrough that day. Brian Clough. Brian Clough. Never forget that. And my uncle said, one of them said, they're a bogey team. I didn't know what a bogey team was. Bogey. Never had a clue. Until a few years later, because I was only, 6 or 7. And Carlyle says to Uma, I would take Zaire Emery in a minute. Who is he? I don't know. I've never heard of him. Got to be honest. Carlyle and Uma. Don't know him. Don't know the lad. Who's your greatest player of all time for Liverpool? Salah or Gerrard? Gerrard's the greatest Liverpool. A Scouser. He plays with the likes of fucking... I don't want to go into detail, but he had some dogs behind him. Until Rafa came, and around 2009, 2010, we had a very strong side. And he nearly won the league, Rafa. Finished second, but what a great side we had. With Mascherano, with Steven as well in midfield, and Xabi Alonso. We had a great, strong side then. We really did. Fernando Torres up front. Peter Crouch. Great defence. Carragher was brilliant for us. Sami Hyypiä. John Arne Steve Finnan. Now, Steve Finnan was underrated. Fabio Aurelio. Anyway, so Salah or Gerrard. Who is your greatest coach of all time? Sir Kenny Dalglish or Jurgen Klopp or Rafa Benitez? Rafa Benitez was a tactical genius. He proved it. Time and time again, he proved it. Sir Kenny, I don't like calling him Sir, I'm being honest, because I fight against the establishment. I actually, for my work I've done as a historian, I was offered a gong. I don't know whether it was an OBA, CBA, MBA. How's your father or whatever? I don't know what it was. I forget now. And I refused it because I've been fighting since 1989 against the establishment, and those gongs are establishment. So I refused it. I think I'm like, a few other people. Like Albert Finney, the actor. He refused. He refused at night or there. So out of those, I'd say Klopp is the best manager, best coach. Uma, Klopp. What's your thoughts on the Dutch cheese getting sacked, made up? I've got a broken neck and I'm going in for a spinal operation in August. And what I was doing in here was cartwheels and backward flips. And when I heard that he was gone, but I knew 2 weeks before, and the lads and people will tell you on here, because I told them that he was gone. Don't be worrying. I thought he was going to go on the fit. Well, I said to everyone, he's going, just wait, because they were all going, and I said, he's going in June. Just wait till June, just wait till June. And he went a couple of days before June. That's why I take no notice of these arseholes, these journals. It's all fucking loads of garbage they come out with. And they never had a clue. I fucking knew he was gone. So I was made up, copite. Made up, mate. I wasn't doing any backward flips or cartwheels. That was my imagination working overtime. I did hobble a bit though. Made up. And sorry, spelling mistake, it's Kenny. Don't we knew what you meant? You may never be sorry. Never be sorry to me or any of them up there. Any of the lads and girls. No need to be sorry. Okay, Uma, you're a good lad. And the poet says, did James and Smithy end up teammates at Swansea when Tosh had them? Yeah. I always remember, the poet might remember this. Somebody has a big falling out with the Shanks. And he says, oh, okay. And he fucking put him on the transfer list and he nearly went to Stoke. This is why he was at his peak. Tommy back down. Me too. And Carlyle says, can you explain selling Quansah for 35 to buy back for 55 a year later? Blame Hughes. Blame Edwards. That's all. And the Dutch cheese fucking arsehole. Just blame them on Edwards. Blame them. Sackable offence, though. And Uma says, I think Klopp is done with coaching. I think he won't do coaching for any other club, not Liverpool as well. I always remember an actor, and he played James Bond, Sean Connery. And when he finished with Bond, he said, I've had enough of Bond. And he walked away. About 3 years, that's not how long. And they offered him, to do another Bond. And he said no. And then he was thinking it over with his wife. And she said, what did she say? Never say never. And that was the name of the film. Never say never. And he did it. But it was a different format from the Broccoli productions. Never say never, Uma, about Klopp. And Davey says, I agree with 7-0 goal. But another great one was Rush in the 5-0 win at Everton, when Anson strolled forwards and lays off an inch-perfect pass. He's got some goals, Rushy. He did. That's a good one, that, though, Davey. There he is. And Uma said, Carlyle, yes, why Quansah being sold? He was a good defending option. Frank, Frank, what's your thoughts about it? I went mad. I've just said it, Uma. I went mad over that. A young lad being sold by a Dutchman. And a fella from Bournemouth, down south, he doesn't go to the game. But it was to raise money to bring in the summer boys. And Michael Dooley, Tommy Schmidt said the hardest player he ever played against was Everton's Johnny Morrissey. And also Joe Fagan was tough. He sorted some of the players out when they got out of He did, Joe. But so did Ronnie Moran. Ronnie Moran used to come into the dressing room at the end of the season, say like we won the league or whatever, which we did at the time. And he used to put the medals in a box. And he used to say to them, this is Ronnie Moran. If you think you deserve one, a medal, just take it. And walked out the dressing room. Or the canteen, wherever they were. But you're right there, Michael. He was tough. And Tony, good feeling about Areola, but we've got to give him time, of course. I said when he first came, Tony, I think the way the league is now, and if he's got the resources, I think we could finish in the top 4. I really do. If he comes out with his game plan, which like Bournemouth were playing under him, and what he said, don't forget, like Liverpool are better players than Bournemouth, far better. So you can imagine that's what my hopes are on. And Uma says, Frank, I have a question. If Areola fails to deliver to our expectation, will Liverpool give another chance or sacked? If you're the owner, what would you do? No, you've got to give him a chance. Look, Uma, even if you were a manager or our friend Davey from Newcastle, I think he's a bit better than the Dutch fella. I don't mention his name. I don't like mentioning his name. Because he's ruined us. This is the mess we're in. And the copite says, I mean, on my channel, Frank, I have a series called Tell Me Your Yeah, I'll do that. Where I get people to tell me how they became an LFC fan. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, copite. Been everywhere as well. Been everywhere. I was on LFC TV for a few years. And I told them about when we got to Rome in 77. And I said to my mates, 3 of us went, said to them, I said, my ambition is always, I'm a retired lecturer of the Roman Empire, by the way. And anyway, we was going over. I said, my ambition. I said, Liverpool, not to win the European Cup, just to be in a final, I said. Just to be in a European Cup final. I said, and to see, this is true, to see the Colosseum. And they just went, oh, the Colosseum. He said, is there any strippers on? One of them said, Tommy. I said, well, he said, is there any strippers on? I said, no. The other fella said, what kind of a club is it then? I said, it's not a club. I said, it's an ancient ruin. And they said, fuck you with your ancient ruin. We're going to a strip club because we were only young. We were only young. Genuine, that. But I seen us win it, and I did see the Colosseum. Because at the time, at college, I was studying the Romans. How about that? And Davey says, my first game, a 1-0 defeat to Chester in a League Cup tie. Midweek game, floodlights, the smell of Bovril. I was hooked. We always have Bovril. I think every game, I mean, every stadium, whether it was a little shed or, an all right thing, sold Bovril. And we all drank it because it was hot. Oh, spot on that, TV. Chester, I beat you. The smell of Bovril. That's a cracker, that. I like that. I like little mad things like that. And Uma says, I think Areola needs time to clean the Dutchman's mentality in their club. Yes. Good shout, that. 2 or 3 seasons, I think so. What are your thoughts? Please support Areola. He is a good coach. We're all behind him. Uma, we're all behind him, honestly. But if he gets money and he gets, we've got great players there and we need some recruits with our great players. But I don't think he'd have 3 seasons if he's doing nothing and finishes up like Bournemouth or the bottom half of the league. I don't think he'd last long. And doing nothing, like in the Champions League or any of the cup games. Honestly. But we will be behind them. And Toscana to the raw. Mi sono fatto male, Sheena. I've done my backing. As long as you haven't done your teeth in. Toscana. Poet, Rafa was unlucky. Azera was stacked. United had Ronaldo, Rooney, etc. Arsenal had Andre Vieira. And Chelsea had Lampard and Terry and Drogba. Yeah. He did great. I remember at United 4-1. I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget at the end of the game what Ferguson said. The best team lost. How did the fucking best team lost, you? Beating them 4-1. Going down 1-0 to a dubious penalty. Not having that. And Uma says, I have what if scenario. If we wouldn't have sold Diaz, Nunes, Quansah, Elliott, will Liverpool finish in the top 3 or won the title? We would have won the title. I said it before, Uma. They smashed it up. If we would have had the same team that won it the previous season, and if we would have still had the Klopp mentality, we would have won the league again. I'm telling you now. That's what won us the league, the season that he took charge. Simply because when they kicked off, they had the Klopp mentality. They couldn't play any different. And that's how they got a big cushion to win the league. Big cushion. And then he started coming out with his own brand of football, which was absolutely dire, useless, clueless, you name it. So if he wouldn't have sold, we had 2 presses. That was Darwin Núñez and Diaz. They were great presses, just forward. But anyway, That was that. Solo smashed the team up, played his arm. That was it. That was the end of him. So you're right there, Uma. Selling them was shocking. Ruined us. And Uma said to the port through. And Stephen, Sir Frank Carlyle, KFC, and B&Q. That's funny though. KFC and B&Q. And so scared. Scouser think you must be joking. On my trips to the great city, I've always found people very knowledgeable. Lads who took us to the Beatles site spoke Italian to my mum. He picked it up from other tourists. Yeah. Yeah. Slot. Before we played PSG, PSG was saying how incredible they were. I thought, shut up, Dutch cheese man. Shankly would turn in his grave. Don't say how great they are when we're about to play them. Yeah. He wanted us to play like them. He was just an arsehole. 100% arsehole. The Dutchman. But as you know, I never liked him when I first seen him coming out in the middle of the pitch of Feyenoord and saying I'm leaving at the end of the season while there was still games to go. That disrespected every Feyenoord fan, every one of them, and the club, to go out in the middle of the fucking pitch and say that. Think about it. I never liked him, didn't want him near our club, but we fucking got him because of the invisible man, Hughes. And Toscana says Sean Connery was offered a contract for Man U as a 22-year-old and said no, he wanted to make an actor. Wise choice. He was a tough fella, you know. I was looking at a bit of a biography about him. And him and his brother, they were very tough in Edinburgh. No one messed about with them. Sean Connery and his brother, Neil. I've just mentioned it, Uma. I've just mentioned it about him coming. I just didn't like him at all. I didn't want him near my club. The club that I've supported for many years. Since the pharaohs, I've been supporting Liverpool. Since the pyramids were being built by the aliens. And Paul says, Morrissey used to play for us. Yeah, he did. And Shankly at the root. Yeah, he did. He went mad. He was from Scotty. Yeah. Two other players, Kevin Campbell. Was it Kevin? No, it wasn't Kevin Campbell. It was Bobby Campbell, I'm sorry. And Jimmy Mealy was from Scotty as well. I used to knock about with Jimmy Mealy's sister, Jackie, when I was a kid, 14, 15. And she was 38 at the time. No, she wasn't. Same age. Let's go, champ, says to Steve. Hiya, Stevie. And Toscana, the Liverpool fans always give the managers a good chance. I've got a good feeling about Areola. I think we all have, to be honest. Tusk, as you know anyway. And Stevie says, Areola only fail. Hang on. Areola only fails at LFC if cheap broke FSG don't give him the players he needs to win trophies at LFC. Go along with that. I was saying it before, Steve, because there's no way that they're going to get another big treasure chest as they had last season. Last summer. And Umar, yes, me too, but I am worried that when we play heavy metal football, injuries will come to our players. That's why we need a big squad, and that's why Areola Umar wants a big squad. And Barry, I think the opposition are crapping themselves now. We have a decent manager stroke coach, especially after what he did with Bournemouth. Good shout, because we do have better players. We do have better players, Barry. And Stevie says, Frank, cheap broke FSG only make 150 million available for new signings. We are fucked. And Uma to Stevie. I hope Adam Wharton, Ryan, and Alex Scott will come. Wharton, to me, is injury prone. He gets injured quite easy, albeit he's a good player. But we've had enough of injury prone players. And Paul says stadiums years ago had character. Modern stadiums are soulless, corporate bowls. Good shout, that. That's why I was made up, about our ground, because it's still square, isn't it? But God blimey, he could have fucking rounded off them corners by the Kenny Dalglish stand. The Anfield Road end, I'm talking about, round them off. Or square them off. Instead of those fucking big things. Ridiculous. That's the fucking tightness of FSG, to be honest. Stevie says to you, man, they will cost more than 150. Cheap, broke FSG won't sign them. What's your best signings for Areola next season? That's to Stevie. And Toscana. No, my teeth are great, but I stopped my cousin buying a pack of Kit Kats. Told her they are lethal. I don't know what time it is. Okay, now. And Uma says, how Slop played heavy metal football in his first season then. I can't believe it. He had this, Uma, I just told you before, when he first came, the players, every player was a Klopp player. And he still had that mentality of how Klopp played. But he fucking changed it into the dreadful football, non-football, clueless football. Ruined players at the same time. And it wasn't him who won the league. It was those set players, those gel players. And most importantly, It was Mo Salah. Mo Salah won the league because of his golden boot and record assists. The record assist was every goal. And without his goals and his assist goals, no way would Liverpool have won that league. God knows where we would have finished. So we never won us the league, Omar. Stevie to my wish list is cheap broke FSG, 150 million. Kamara, Sangare, Budi, Minter. Blimey. Cost a fortune. And Stevie says FSG will give Areola a thinner squad than the Dutch cheese man had. Yes. I'm going to go right down, people. I'm sorry. I'm going right down because I want to do something before I finish. It's the poet. Do you remember that fella from years ago who played for us? He wasn't a bad player, but if someone fouled him, he'd lose his rag. Jimmy Arroway. Jimmy Arroway. Something like that. Scots fella. He was Scots. And I'll tell you what number he wore. He wore the number 10. He was my idol as a kid. Loved him. He was a great player. He's what you call today a playmaker. Well, he was a playmaker then, but you know, in today's term, okay, now he was incredible. Jimmy Arroway, poet, bang on there. Number 10 he wore. Jimmy Arroway. I remember it. See, I had a photo. I did have a photographic memory. Goes. And I just remember him so well. As a kid, little mad kid. Loved him. Me idol. Jimmy Arroway. And he was Scots. And he wore the number 10. How about that? That's great, that. Coming out with that. Coming out with that. Poet, lads. Okay, now. And Stevie says, Frank, we can blow 120 million on Anderson or buy 3 young quality players for 120. Kamara, Sangare, Budi. Yeah, I'd get them. I'd get them. Yeah, totally agree. I agree with you, Frank, says Ruma. Thank you. I think so, to Stevie. Right, I'm going right down because I want to say something, you say. Right, thank God. Right. I'll say it after this. I was enjoyed to watch. Trent passes to Salah. Salah did creativity. Diaz, unpredictability. Yes. Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Unpredictability, running. Nunes presses, I think. All midfield players. Presses all towards the goal. Yes. And Stevie says to him, Areola just happy to be our LFC manager. He will have work on penny. He will have to work on pennies like Klopp did to win trophies. Don't forget, boys, he's no, unfortunately, he's no Klopp. No one will be a Klopp. like a Shankly. Right, I'm just gonna tell you a few films to watch. That's all. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. It's absolutely brilliant. Uma Thurman, and you get these on YouTube, by the way. You get them on YouTube. But Luke Wilson and Uma Thurman and Eddie Izzard, watch it. Please watch it. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. And the other one is called The Loft. What a film. With Carlyle. Getting all these on YouTube. Really good. I'm telling you now. So that's the... And another one is a comedy called Clue. Very funny. The other one is Stolen. It's good. Stolen. Just type Stolen in on your YouTube. Come up. Watch it. These are all good films I'm telling you about. And if you haven't seen The Eagle Has Landed, watch it. It's a really good film. Michael Caine in the arse. Michael Caine, that is. Him. It's good. Vengeance. It's really good. Watch it. Vengeance. It's about a girl and these fellas grab her. So you know what happens to the girl. And this cop goes fucking after them. Vengeance. It's good. So don't forget, I hope you're writing these fucking down. And there's another, it's a cracking, I liked it anyway. And it's Vacancy. Vacancy. It's really good. About a couple who break down and they go to this motel. Watch it. These are all on YouTube. There's another one with Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon sandwich. And it's really good. And it's called The River Wild. The River Wild. It's about white water, you know, going on canoe, you know them. But the immigrants come over on them dinghies. Just have a watch of that. The River Wild. It's good. Really is good. And these are all on YouTube. And another one is called Pay the Ghost. Pay the Ghost. It's a good film. And the last one is Krakatoa or Krakatoa, east of Java. But in fact, it's not east. They're the Americans, you say. They haven't a clue where they fucking go. It's actually west of Java. Krakatoa. It's a real volcano, by the way. So they're the films. And I suppose you've never took a blind bit of notice. And I even written them down for you all. And Stevie Uma. Will lightning strike twice for FSG like Klopp did? Only time will tell. what Klopp won, and he won everything that a club can win, club football can win, everything. And he did it on a shoestring budget. They gave him nothing. And say, yep, give the films a look, Frank. I tell you what to watch first. Honestly, watch My Super Ex-Girlfriend. You won't be disappointed. And also watch, right afterwards, if you want to watch a couple, watch The Loft. The Loft with Carl Urban. It's brilliant. 2.5. Really is. And what I'll do, I'll get Jason on Friday to put a little list up for you of the films. Okay? And I just want to thank Gap Painting Services for sponsoring every Frank Carlyle podcast. Every single one of them. They're fully time served. They're fully insured. If you're an NHS worker or if you know anyone who works for the NHS and they want their own decorating, and an elderly person or elderly couple, they get special discounts. Just get hold of Gap Painting Services. Don't let them struggle trying to paint the outside or the inside or whatever. They get a special discount. And if you don't fit into those categories, you can, and you want to do some decorating yourself, especially the outside, and you're a bit dodgy, getting the ladder up, just get them in. Because they'll give you the price without any obligation. Just get a price off them. That's Gap Painting Services, the sponsors of every single podcast that I do. Great people. So don't forget, see, I'll have Jason to put all the films up. Be there, I suppose, on that side, all the little films. You'll be able to have a look to see what ones I strongly recommend. All right. And that's on Friday. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow. And Uma says, never say never. If Enrique came, what are your thoughts? How'd it be made up with him? Definitely him. But he's with PSG. And so on. I hear Kev King. Oh, I know. If anyone knows him, tell him to try Fen Ben Dazzle. Nothing to lose. Fen Ben Dazzle. Oh, Tony. Even Kenny, has got it as well. Okay, good night, Frank. Sleep well. We will meet next time soon. Up the Reds. You'll never walk alone. Says Uma. Thank you, Uma. You're a good lad. Watch out for those snakes where you live. Davey, neat. Gangani, everyone. I'm off to skull my mouth with a hot bottle. Skull me mouth. Mad, isn't it? When you go to match and he's got a bottle. I remember eating a pie. you know, teenager, you know, as you're out, like, drinking the bottle, eating a pie. And there was an old fella standing next to me. He was in the cop. No stands all around then. And I was eating it, and I went, "Do you want a bit?" And he went, "Fuck off." Oh, all right then, yeah. Do you want a bit? I said, "Yeah, do you want a bit?" I felt sorry for him. He said, "Fuck off." You can't believe it, can you? And Phil says, "I've noted and we'll have a look." I'll try and send you I'll try and send you them. Text you some of them. One to watch, two to watch. One after the other. Oh, my lovely Toscana. Grazie, Franco and chatters. Another enjoyable evening. Thank you. I'm sorry to swear. Toscana. I really am. I don't know where Bella is. I hope she's okay. And see. Yes, Frank, list of films will be brilliant. Cheers. Thank you, T. I'll have them up tomorrow night. And the T says, night, Frank and chat. See you tomorrow. Thank you, T. And Stevie Boo, nice one. Cheers, Stephen. And Phil says weeks are flying by. Oh yeah, there's a name up there. I have Jeffrey Carlyle. What's up, cuz? I don't know a Jeffrey Carlyle. Same, spelt the same as well. Hello, Jeffrey. Do us a favour, mate. Like and subscribe to your namesake. That's me. What's up, cuz? I'm all right, yeah. I'm okay, mate. Thank you. And the poet, night, Frank. Thank you, poet. I'd love to do, during the summer, some English literature, before I go into hospital. If you don't mind. English literature is one of the greatest things. It tells you so much. And also, even quotes comes out of philosophers, by the way, as well, with English literature. The books, incredible, but I only do the classics and the meaning of them. Oh, lovely little Lauren. Good night, Frankie. Oh, good night, Lauren and Max. Sly Boots, I've never seen you there. You and Max. Oh, look at that for Frank. Nice little art. Thank you. Lauren Bianchi. Grazie mille. Grazie mille. Cara me. Cara me. Lord. Thanks, Frankie and Jack. Good night, says the Phil. Cheers, Phil. I'll be right up for that, Frank, says the poet. Well, I love Keats. Love him. And there's a fella who, Browning, but William Blake, daddy of them all. I wander through each chartered street near where the chartered Thames does flow, and every face of man I meet, marks of weakness, marks of woe. Brilliant. And it's happening today, isn't it? marks of weakness, marks of woe. I'll try and get a date for that poet. Davy, I don't have a swears jar. I have a pessimism jar. It's currently happened. That's great. I love things like that. That's why I love yous, honestly. Yous are all great people, wonderful people, sentimental people. And you know what you're talking about as well. Does English literature include American authors? Yes. I'll bring a couple in, but only a couple. The likes of Steinbeck, Arthur Miller, but only one of his. I'll never guess what that is. Arthur Miller, his play. The Melting Pot, The Crucible. Brilliant. Brilliant. So that's it, Geoffrey Carlyle. But you love my literature. You love the poets. You love the authors. Not so much playwrights. I'm a specialist on Dickens. I'm a specialist on Blake, Keats, Shakespeare. I'm a specialist on Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote about the histories and no one knew about it. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. One of the greatest of all quotes about the 1605 gunpowder plot. And on that wonderful note, you wonderful people, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you all tomorrow for God knows what. It'll be about, mostly about current affairs, what's going on in the world today, both economically and what's causing the plunge in the economy is bloody wars, needless wars. And on that note, I'll say thank you for joining me. Thanks for joining. Just laughing. Shakespeare goes into a pub and the barber says, "Get out, you bad." You can't make these things up. I'll have to leave. Even Phil is laughing his little head off. Look. I'm going to leave that up. I think that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. Thank you so much, people. Love you all. I really do. Thank you. Thank you.